How many hours a day should one practice to see real improvement? I know it is not feasible for any trainer to give a proper, exact, precise answer, but according to you,
Yeah,
since you have a
yeah.
lot of experience training people, so how many hours will a person see just real improvement? That's it. We're talking not
Yeah.
about getting
Mhm.
fluent 100% or grammatically correct.
Mm,
It's just about to
I
see real
understand.
improvement. Yeah.
But if you spend those 12 minutes behind one word, you also keep thinking, will I get time for other words also? There are so many words. Anyway, you're not going to complete the whole dictionary. So you can't complete
Yes.
the whole dictionary of your native tongue. So that pressure should not be there in the minds of the listeners and learners. They should know they can only learn a certain number of words so that they can say all the kinds of sentences they want to. And that can happen with a limited number of words. Yeah, and more than we chasing words, it should be words chasing us.
Chasing us.
So if you are patient enough, they will come to you. I have seen that happening with me. And that moment is
Mm.
so magical that it gives you goosebumps when you get a word at the right time. Yeah.
To the next question. What do you think
Please,
is the
please.
difference between speaking English and communicating effectively? Many people confuse between both of
Hmm.
them. So, how would you like to
Yeah.
define it? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, based on your experience, what patterns have you seen in successful learners? Because you must have seen patterns, right? How well they
Yeah.
learn and how
I have.
successful they get. So, what are those
Yes. Yes.
patterns?
You've actually tapped the right tone here. So I'll say I have seen those patterns. And when you keep taking sessions, I'm sure you are also not a stranger to it. You must have also seen those patterns.
One daily habit that can dramatically improve spoken English, according to you. So,
Mhm.
do you think that watching movies or listening to podcasts, all of this can really
Mm.
help? If yes, what is the right way of doing it? The
So,
final thing is one advice for struggling English learners. Oh, good afternoon. How are you doing?
good I've been doing really well. Thank you for
How,
asking.
how's your day shaping up? Are you having a busy day today?
I won't say that. Today is much more relaxing than the other days that I've spent in the recent past. As I've already said, I am contributing some time to content planning and content creation. So most of my day goes in thinking what to do, like how to do it, and how to make it different from what I'm already thinking. So yeah, a lot of thinking is happening. Not too many sessions today. Yesterday I had a lot of sessions, I think over what, 18 sessions, 18, 19 sessions in a day, and it was tiring, I must say. Yeah.
Definitely, I can imagine 18, 19 sessions. What is the duration of each session?
It goes at least for what, 30 minutes, sometimes 25, sometimes 20, sometimes beyond 30. So depends. I am training people of different age groups these days. So there are just to refresh my own own knowledge on grammar. I am training a few students who are school going kids, and I'm preparing them for their examination as well. And it really helps me in raising the bar of my own grammar and understanding grammar even better. Just when you explain one example to someone, you also understand it better, and you feel much more accomplished at that time. So yeah, that.
No better way of learning than teaching, I would say. You learn more and more.
Bang on. You're right. Mhm.
Okay, so we have already met before, but for the sake of this video, I would love for you to
Absolutely.
introduce yourself.
Why not? Why not? I really relish the time when people ask me for my introduction because that's one way of interacting with people. Yeah, but I think it will go away uh, with some time because when you keep introducing yourself, that happens a lot when I take sessions. Okay, let me cut to the chase. My name is Vipul Pant. I have been a communication skills coach for the last what 7 to 8 years now. I have been a writer for newspapers like the Times of India, the Hindu, etc. I started my journey as a freelance writer for all these newspaper dailies. And yeah, I've done a lot of ghost writing also for many popular authors. At the same time, yeah, I have taken over what 25,000 sessions in my life so far, online and offline. Most of them have been online, but a good number has been offline too, like over what 10, 11,000 sessions offline as well. I hail from this majestic land of Uttarakhand, Devbhoomi Uttarakhand, which is producing spine-chilling cold these days. So yeah, that is all about me.
Okay, I got to know a lot more about you today.
Is it?
Yeah, I didn't know this much about you. I didn't know that you write. So, how did your
Yeah.
passion for writing start and how did you get into this?
It had always been there. I don't know why, but it came really naturally to me. I think it runs in the family a bit because my grandfather was an underwriter in the High Court of Uttarakhand, which is situated in Nainital. And my father, I don't know, like if he was passionate, if he's passionate in writing or not. I haven't really had a conversation regarding that with him. But yeah, my grandfather was really passionate about writing. I think if I am good, then I am just 1% of what my grandfather was in terms of speaking and writing. He was splendid. I haven't seen many better than him. That is that. And yeah, that is why it came really naturally. And the passion to be correct and to think on my feet when I was growing up. So I won't say that I did not watch animation, but my grandfather did make me watch or listen to a lot of speeches in the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha as well. He would play
Oh,
that and I had to watch it. I had no other option, but I grew up watching all of those. So I have relished that. Yeah.
okay. Did you naturally get interested into politics and the kind of speeches they gave, or
Yeah.
was it forced on you?
No, obviously, when you go through a new hobby, you are forced a
Yes.
bit.
Yes.
And it was just that there was one television, one channel. So, yeah, I think nature forced it on me. But I enjoyed it. I enjoy politics a lot. Not the kind of politics which is played in offices, but I love politics. Like I'm fanatic about it. I love to read, I love to watch, I love to experience politics and speak to politicians. I have had the opportunity to speak to a few politicians during my session taking journey. So I enjoy that. Yeah, I enjoy politics.
That's amazing. And what do you love writing about? What genre actually? Because yeah, as a writer, you must be writing about a lot of things, but which one do you enjoy
Yeah.
personally?
So before telling that, I would like to say that my writing journey was short-lived in a way because I started writing because it was my passion, but to educate all the viewers that are going to watch it, if they are going to be many, so they should know that writing is not a high-paying career. So
Yes.
the kind of money that someone gets is really limited, and at times you are not even paid at all. So there's a lot of cheating that happens in that field. That is one. So it's not good enough to pay your bills. But when I had started writing for a certain newspaper daily, I should not name them here with the pay scale they keep. It was one word for 1 rupee for a word. So we had to write 720 words and we would be paid 1 rupee for a word. That was one too many at that time because the pressure of earning was not there. And over a period of time, I realized that it was a really low paying thing. Why? Because you take at least a week to write something that is good enough to be published in a newspaper daily. And when the article is out, I don't know if you are aware of it or not, but I think most of people must not be. So you can't really identify at times
Oh.
if it is the same thing that you had written. So they change it, they revamp it, they make a lot of changes, especially to budding writers, they do that. So I had started sending my articles to the Times of India when I was 17 or 18. At that time, I had started contributing articles, but they did not select it. And I think one fine day after having written 26, 27 articles, one article got published with my name. I really brushed my eyes 5 times and I felt, was it my article or not? Because I could not recognize it. It was completely revamped. Yeah, but then when you read between the lines, you understand, okay, it's my thought that has been published. So it was about migration, which is here in Uttarakhand. So there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of migration that happens in Uttarakhand. And at the time when I had started writing, there was something called reverse migration also that had started happening. So
Okay.
the indigenous people of Uttarakhand have been leaving their places, their remote places, and they have been stepping down to the plain regions like my family has done. I am
Okay.
basically from a region called Pithoragarh in Uttarakhand,
Mm-hmm.
which is a remote area. Pithoragarh as a city is really developed in that sense, but the villages around are not as developed and the medical facilities are not up to the mark. So I think my grandfather, yeah, at that time he migrated from that place. But nowadays we see a lot of people from Delhi and surrounding states. They are making their way to those places and they are setting up
Oh.
cabins over there. They spend, you know, lakhs and crores of rupees to stay there, and they have set up homestays. But the problem is that
Mm.
our indigenous people, the denizens of Uttarakhand, are not making much money out of it. So I wrote about that problem. I started with that, and the first time I was asked to write on the fashion trends of Uttarakhand, which is a really vague topic to discuss because I won't say we have much to say about fashion in Uttarakhand. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Okay, so since you're a trainer, I have a series of questions that I want to ask you regarding
Oh, yeah.
fluency, confidence building, communication skills. So let's get to
Yeah.
the topic today. Okay, so what do you think? Is fluency more about confidence or correctness? What do you think?
Hmm. So a topic that is really intriguing. I'll say, whenever this topic comes in my way, I always think that what is confidence and what is correctness, and what is fluency more about? Is it more towards
Hmm.
confidence or correctness? So I don't know how many will understand this cricket reference here, but I'll say I will act like Gautam Gambhir. I'll not pick either of the two choices. I'll say
Okay.
comfort. This is one thing that I pick over everything. Confidence for me is a lie. I think that's some lie that you keep in your pocket and you make yourself realize there's something inside your pocket. You can't touch the confidence that I have. I can't touch the confidence that you have. And I don't carry 10 kgs of it. You don't carry 50 kgs of it. It's all right. Like, this is something that you tell yourself. If I tell myself that I can speak to the Prime Minister of the nation, I can speak to the Prime Minister of the nation. If I tell myself I can't speak to Shanta, then I will not be able to speak to you. As simple as that. So it's about affirmation. It's about comfort. And if you ask me this question, I'll not give a diplomatic answer because I love politics, but I'll say that I feel fluency is more towards confidence if you term it as comfort. If you tell me that, yeah, it's comfort that we are talking about when we say confidence, then I'll say it's more towards comfort because there are many people who are correct, but they don't have the comfort in their mind to be fluent, to make irregular, to make regular sentences without irregular pauses. So hence proven, it's more about comfort, it's more about confidence. A lie that you tell yourself.
I think sometimes confidence overpass your mistakes or your body
Yeah.
language. People will focus more on that well compared to your grammatical mistakes or whatever.
Yeah. I believe in the Gautam Buddha's ideology. It's more about taking the middle path, creating a balance between the two. So just being completely confident is also not enough at times
Hmm.
because you will find someone who can see through your
Yes.
mistakes and you can find, oh, you're wrong. Right. So there have been times when people have tried correcting me in my own sessions and I have taken it wholeheartedly. It happened in the beginning of the days. At times people think they are right and they try to correct the trainer. It's all right. It can happen, but trainers cannot be 100% correct every time because
Yeah.
it's not my native tongue. It's not your native tongue. How can we be 100% correct? We are not 100% correct at our own native tongues. So
Yes.
that is why it's all right to accept.
Okay. So next, coming to the question, how many hours a day should one practice to see real improvement? I know it is not feasible for any trainer to give a proper, exact, precise
Mhm.
answer, but according to you,
Yeah.
since you have a
Yeah.
lot of experience training people, so how many hours will a person see to see just real improvement? That's it. We're talking not
Yeah.
about getting
Mhm.
fluent 100% or grammatically correct.
Mm.
It's just about to
I
see real
understand.
improvement. Yeah.
I know where this question is coming from because most of the times, for example, if I hit the gym, I would like to see some difference in my body
Hmm.
so that I'm motivated to go one more day. The
Yes.
same happens when you're trying to improve your communication skills. So you want to see something. You want to see if something is happening or not, or should I spend
Yes.
one more day on it or not? Your day is also like currency. Your time is like currency that you're spending. It's not just the fee that you pay to the trainer. Coming back to your question, yes, like you've already said, to give one answer will be a hard nut to crack. I'll say it's not about the number of hours, but yes, I'll give you an amount of time that you should be putting. It's more
Mhm.
about frequency, how many times you do it. So even if you have decided that I would give it 5 minutes, if you're giving those 5 minutes just once a day, won't be enough. If you
Yes.
if you plan to do it 5 minutes, then do it 10 times a day or 7 times a day. So in totality, how much time are you giving? 35 minutes. So if I bluntly say, Shanta, it should be 35 minutes that someone should be spending, then I'm wrong because people would end up spending those 35 minutes in one go, which is not enough. Then if you're doing it 15 minutes, do it 3 or 4 times a day.
Okay.
Frequency is the key. I don't think it's about the number of hours or number of minutes that someone puts in. And yeah, that is almost all about it. So it's about the number of times you get to it, number of times you recollect a word, number of times you practice a sentence. It's not about the number of hours or minutes that you put in. That's what my ideology is. So to give a precise answer, it should be 15 minutes a day, 15 minutes, but at least 3 to 4 times a day. This is what my thinking is. And if someone can do that, they'll be spending what? 1 hour?
Yes,
One,
1 hour a
1.5
day.
hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
Not good with math.
advise not on a stretch 1 hour, but the frequency matters. 15 minutes scattered
Frequency
throughout the day.
matters. Don't spend, like, I at times tell my learners that they say that I learn a new word and I don't get it at the right time. I say you learn it so you know the word.
Hmm.
Whatever effort you made, you have got the result. You learn a word, you know it That's all right. When someone else uses it, you can say, yeah, I know this word. But to
Mm.
get it at the right time, you have not done anything. So you'll have to revisit that word. You'll have to visit that word again. So when you visit that word, you have to visit it at least 5 or 6 times a day. But you can't make 5, 6 sentences just then and there. That is vague. You should not think that if I make 6 sentences just now, I'll remember this word for life. No, it does not work like that. You have to make one sentence, say 1 hour, make one
Mm.
sentence. The next hour, make one more sentence. Likewise, if you do it for 6 hours, what are you spending? Not more than 2 minutes an hour.
Yes.
So it will be what, 6 to 12. So 12 minutes in the entire day, and you will have a word for life. That is what I can assure. If you recollect that 6 times a day, you will get that word at the right time. But then comes the pressure. If I spend the entire 6 hours, you're not spending 6 hours, you're spending 12 minutes. But
Mm.
if you spend those 12 minutes behind one word, you also keep thinking, will I get time for other words also? There are so many words. Anyway, you're not going to complete the whole dictionary. So you can't complete
Yes.
the whole dictionary of your native tongue. So that pressure should not be there in the minds of the listeners and learners. They should know they can only learn a certain number of words so that they can say all the kinds of sentences they want to. And that can happen with a limited number of words. This is what my understanding is.
I think there's a lot of pressure these days for people to use fancy words. I don't know
Mhm.
where it comes from, but I think from the newspapers or from advanced speakers or
Yeah.
native speakers, I think they want to speak fancy words, new
Mm.
words, and that is acting like a major hurdle or major problem for a lot of people. And also, I think you should like that word. It's not that somebody is using it and you want to use it.
Yeah.
It happens
Mhm.
sometimes, even when I'm reading, I come across a word and I really like that word. So I don't have to
Yeah.
put effort for it. Maybe next time when I'm talking
Exactly.
to somebody, it spontaneously it just
Automatic.
pops on. So it happens.
Yes. Yeah, and more than we chasing words, it should be words chasing us.
Chasing us.
So if you are patient enough, they will come to you. I have seen that happening with me, and that moment is
Mm.
so magical that it gives you goosebumps when you get a word at the right time. Yeah. It feels okay.
Yeah.
Everything has fallen at the right place.
Yeah. Okay. Uh,
Mhm.
Coming to the next question. What do you think
Please,
is the
please.
difference between speaking English and communicating effectively? Many people confuse between both of
Mhm.
them. So, how would you like to
Yeah.
define it?
That is why we have two sets of programs running in the world. One is spoken English program, the other one is communication skills
Communication.
program. I've seen that being a trainer, I've seen because you must have also seen the same thing that communication skills programs are, much costlier than the spoken English programs because the gentry that would subscribe to a communication skills program will be less. So they would be charging more money for that. Um, I'll say between communication and speaking any language, it's about thinking that the words that you're going to use or the number of sentences you're going to make, it's fuel that you're using in your car. So if you have to travel from one place to another, there are two things that come to your mind. I should not waste my fuel. Second thing, I should not spend a lot of time on the road. I should take the shortest path so that I can save time, one
Mm-hmm.
resource, and fuel, the other resource. The same should happen when you're speaking to when you're speaking to someone. The same ideology applies. So point A is a point where the other person is unaware of what you want to say. Point B is the point where the person has become aware. Now, from reaching point A to point B, you should use the shortest path.
Yes.
That is what communication skills is all about. You can
Mm.
have 10 more paths to reach the point B. But to reach point B, there's a shortest path. That shortest path is communication, effective communication. That will have the right words, that will have coherence over fancy words. I think whenever people talk about fancy words, when you were saying the word fancy, I don't know where this word even comes from. Why do we even use a word like exceptional vocabulary or fancy vocabulary? There are words that you don't know, they become fancy, but they can be a waste of time at the same time,
Mm.
isn't it? So thinking effective communication is the shortest path between this point A of the listener being completely unaware of your thought to point B where listener is completely aware of your thought. And this shortest path is communication skills. So right words, shortest sentence. And there's a line which is really famous, which is the more you say, the less you speak. So if you're using too many
Mhm.
words, you're not contributing
Yeah.
much. You're actually confusing the other person. So considering that, I'll put my voice to rest now. Tell me.
Yes, and a lot of people don't like people who speak a lot or beat around the bush because they know the message
You're
has
right.
to be clear, crisp. I think
Clear.
that is effective
Yeah.
communication.
Absolutely right. Coherence should be targeted more than fancy words, and it should not be impressing someone. It should be
Yeah,
expressing yourself, right?
expressive.
That is the difference.
Definitely.
Mm,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay. So, based on your experience, what patterns have you seen in successful learners? Because you must have seen patterns, right? How well they
yeah.
learn and how
I have.
successful they get. So, what are
Yes,
those
yes.
patterns?
You have actually tapped the right tone here. So I'll say I have seen those patterns, and when you keep taking sessions, I'm sure you are also not a stranger to it. You must have also seen those patterns. Um, the pattern that really cracks the code for someone is the fact that they start noticing themselves. So when someone goes completely unnoticed, see, they need a tutor until a point when they can't notice themselves.
Okay.
But once a learner starts noticing the pattern, then the job of the trainer is almost halved, and the trainer needs to do something unique to train the learner more. That is one. So when the learner starts noticing himself or herself, that is the point they are starting to improve. So those are the kinds of learners. So for that,
Mm.
for noticing yourself, what should you do? One is to understand that high speed is not fluency.
Yes.
This is the most confusing thing in the minds of people. The biggest misconception among our learners is the fact that they want to speak fast.
Yes.
They want to just complete. In one breath, half a breath, they want to just get it done. Not the right way. I feel it should be a little slow. I give the example of riding a bike. When you ride
Mm.
the bike fast, it does not take much efforts. Why? Because the velocity is taking the weight. Here, when you speak slow, so the onus, the responsibility is on you. The weight is on you. You have to be balanced. You have to balance things when you're riding the bike slow. The same happens when you're speaking. The tougher thing obviously contributes more to your life. So when you speak slow, you also get the advantage of noticing your own problems. You can see where you're going wrong. Now, a part of your mind may say it may confuse you further because you're noticing your problems. But knowing a problem and then being confused, and not knowing a problem and being completely oblivious to your problem, I think I'll select the former one because it's fine. I should know where the landmines are before I'm walking on the ground. So that's what my ideology is. So the point where people start noticing themselves, I think that is the point where they start learning better.
Self-realization, isn't it?
Self-realization, noticing their own mistakes,
Yes.
improving themselves, and at times telling the trainer that you missed that one mistake that I made in sentence number 7.
Oh.
I think that is the point I cherish the most when my learner tells me that.
Wow. Yeah. It feels fruitful and rewarding.
It does. Very rewarding. Trust me. You may feel defeated for a moment that, oh, how could you not notice it? But the
Yes.
next moment you realize, no, I think I've achieved my target. The reason why we started these sessions.
Yes. You
Yeah.
start enjoying what you're doing when you notice that, it is improvement is happening and people are improving. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay. One daily habit that can dramatically improve spoken English, according to you.
One daily habit. One habit that I am missing out in my YouTube journey is consistency. So, from the larger perspective, I'll say consistency. Even if it is 5 minutes, it should happen daily. Even if it is
Mm.
4 pages, it should happen daily. Even if it is one line, it should happen daily. You should not take breaks. Do not set targets which are unachievable for you, unrealistic. And habit will be, see, people say there are four components, LSRW. I agree with them. I say, yeah, all right. There are four components. So use your time wisely. If you want to be a better speaker, you should not spend unnecessary time reading or listening. I know. Before people pelt stones at me, I'll say, don't worry. You have to read, you have to listen. But if I have to be good at cricket, why will I practice boxing for more number of hours than cricket? Simple mathematics. You practice boxing more, you become better at boxing.
Mm.
You practice speaking more, you become better at speaking. So listening, all the other things are not a form of expression. If you look at writing, writing gives you a lot of time and space, so it's not the right judgment of your talent of communication. Your talent of communication can only be judged with speaking and speaking effectively, like you said, communication. Then the other components are reading and listening. In both of them, what are you doing? You are consuming things. So you're
Yes.
consuming things. Consume things, not a problem. But the ratio should be kept proper. After 3 months of listening to podcasts and reading books, you should not come back with a problem in your mind. Oh, I did not improve at all. So you spend a lot of time consuming things. You know things. You don't know how to implement them because you did not implement them. As simple as that. So the day people start realizing it, that they have to spend more time on speaking and less time on reading. There are various ways of speaking. You can practice it in front of the camera. You can practice it with ChatGPT these days.
Yes.
You can practice it in front of the mirror.
Hmm.
So I've seen many trainers saying or dejecting an idea over the other. They say, don't go for practicing in front of the mirror. Do it in front of the camera. How much difference does it make?
Yes.
How much difference does it make? It does not make any difference. You practice anyhow. Speak to the wall. You don't need a human being at times. So you don't need a mirror also. You just need a wall to speak to. Right?
Yes.
So just start. This is one habit that I feel. Consistent start. Do 1 minute, but do 1 minute every day. Do 10 minutes, do 10 minutes every day. That's one habit that one should develop. Mm.
Yes, and since you mentioned listening to podcasts and interviews, so
Mhm.
do you think that watching movies or listening to podcasts, all of this can really
Mm.
help? If yes, what is the right way of doing it?
Without a shadow of doubt, yes. There is no two ways about it. Even if you want to be good at anything in life, you have to surround yourself with that environment. So even if I want to learn some teenage slang, I can't learn it with the book in my hands.
Yes.
I'll have to be around those teenagers, right? I don't want to call them Gen Zs. I don't like that term.
Okay.
But yeah, it's all right. We can be around teenagers and learn a lot of things from them. You sit with five rowdy people every day. After 1 week, you'll be speaking their language. Why? Environment. The best teacher, there are two teachers that I love the most, and they're not human beings. One is embarrassment, the other one is environment. So embarrassment teaches you the most, like it gives you the best realizations. And environment, how magically, even if you don't want to learn something, environment can teach you. Nature can teach you. So
Yes.
be close to the environment, look, observe, and do it that activity called show and tell. Look at things, pick up anything on your table, like pick up this phone and start speaking a story behind this. This is one great habit, that you pick up things and create stories about them. Now, I can have 10 new stories about it. Why? Because I would think one is the real one and nine other stories which can be false. But I should be good at creating stories. So I can create a story about this house. I can create 10 stories about different things that are kept around me. So there is a concept in Hindi, in Sanskrit, which is
Mhm.
called Dvait and Advait. So there is someone who's a really popular religious discourse person. His name is Prashant Acharya.
Yes.
Acharya Prashant, I think.
Yes.
Really
Yes.
popular. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. Are you aware? Okay,
Yes.
great.
Yes. I do watch his
So
videos. Yeah.
he said it in one of the videos that most of the monks talk about detachment. How can you be detached from things? Actually, it's impossible to be detached because the blanket that you're using, you are attached to it. So the first, and he gives a really interesting example. I'll not say it's mine, it's his, and I'm sure even he took it from somewhere. We all steal like an artist. So he said that the time when a child is born, the first action the child does, he does not call out for anyone. The child does this or waves his hand in the air. Why? Because he wants to catch something, wants to attach with something. So you need to interact. No man is an island. As simple as that. So you have to surround yourself with that environment. That is the first thing. So yes, to that question, whether it's important to watch movies, listen to podcasts, reading books, everything is important. Everything that can give you an English environment is important. Okay. Even speaking to ChatGPT is equally important. Even better, actually. Coming to what was the second part of your question? I'm sorry, I've missed it.
How to effectively do it? If it is yes, so you told it is yes,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
what? How can they do it to get maximum
Yeah.
benefit out of it?
Yeah, I see a lot of my learners coming up with this thought. One of the most popular sitcoms that every learner watches is, you know, the word Friends. They say the word Friends. I watch
Yes.
Friends. I'm really tired of that word now, but I'll say, all right, watch Friends, watch The Big Bang Theory, watch The Office, whatever you wish to watch, watch it. The point is, if you are planning to learn something out of it, so you need to know when to pause more than when to play. So they know when to hit the play button, but they never pause it.
Yes.
When Chandler, the main character of that show, the lead of that, all the characters are
Yes.
leads, but
Yes.
if a main character says a sentence and that is American slang that they're using,
Yes.
most of it won't even be used in your day, but it's all right. If you want to learn it, no problem, no hard feelings. Learn it, but pause then and there. Are you noting it down? If I am reading, I think in the last session I showed you a book. Did I?
No,
I
you
must have
didn't.
showed this. No,
No, you
I did not.
didn't.
Okay, I was speaking to someone else yesterday and showed this book. So when I read a book, I always have a notebook also prepared for every book. So if this book is the first book of the year, so it will be titled as one, and the notebook will be 1.1. And then there'll be chapters in that notebook also, according to the chapters in this book.
Mm-hmm.
So that if I find something unique, be it a thought, be it a word, be it an idiom, a phrase, whatever I like, I will mention it so that I can revisit it. So people may say, you may underline, but that does not give me the sense of responsibility to revisit. When there's a notebook, it makes it easier. Why am I doing it? It's my profession to do it. That's why I'm doing it. You can't, not everyone can do it. Not all of my learners will be able to do it. You
Yes.
can do it, it's your profession. Not everyone will be able to practice it. So it's important to revisit things, to know when to pause. If you're watching
Mm-hmm.
something, pause and go back. If you want to learn directly from
Mm-hmm.
it, if you think some magic would happen and it would enter your brain, I don't think that actually happens every time. So there is indirect learning. I believe in
Yes.
indirect learning, but it happens after a certain point when once you have reached at least the intermediate level.
Yes.
That is what my belief is. Yeah.
If you just want to watch and then learn, I think you will have to do it many times. Repetition. When you do repetition, then it'll enter.
Yeah, yeah. And time is an interesting factor when someone is learning something because there is
Yes.
only so much of time that one can spend.
True. But
Mhm.
for me, it is more of entertainment. When I sit with
Yeah,
the thought that I'm going to learn from this, then the thing itself makes it feel boring. So I just watch for
yeah, yeah.
entertainment, listen for entertainment.
Yeah.
So learning happens
Yes,
across the way. I mean, I don't have kind of a
yes.
limited time. Within this time, I have to excel, or this is my goal. So I do it for entertainment
Mm.
and for enjoying the process of it.
Mm. Because you're naturally better than 90% of the speakers out there. Why? Because you are a trainer. So you can afford to do that. But then there are many
Yes.
who are just starting their journey. They will
Yes.
have to sit in, right? If they want to learn through friends. So
True.
there are better ways to learn, I'll say. But watching movies,
Yes.
listening to podcast, everything helps because it sets the environment for you. The
I know
way you
Friends
watch it,
is
that counts.
Yes, I know
Mhm.
Friends is really famous, but I wouldn't recommend it to beginners because it uses most of
Absolutely.
the time, slangs which I don't think you're ever going to use in Indian context.
Exactly. The references are a bit racial at times. Even that
Yeah.
has happened, and I really don't cherish that those parts of it. We Indians would laugh at it
Yes.
every now and then. But the fact is, it's racial at times. So that's that. But yeah, it's upon us what we look at. So
Yes.
Friends, obviously not for beginners. They can start listening to some easy podcasts. I think there is a podcast with have you, do you know Harsha Bhogle? Do you know Harsha
Yes, I
Bhogle?
do. Yes, yes.
A famous
Cricketer.
commentator, right?
Yeah,
I've learned a
commentator.
lot of my English from that guy because I grew up watching a lot of cricket and listening to speeches as well. So I was really excited when he released. Actually, a podcast is out where he talks about the space mission of India. Forgotten the actual name, but I think when people go on ChatGPT, they'll find it. India Space Mission or something. So there is an entire series of podcast. Well, that is priceless. I would pay any price for it. But the best part is in India, the most valuable content comes for free. So yeah, books are cheap. We can see that. Mhm.
Yes. Okay.
Mhm.
So we come to the end of the session. So one last question, one
Time has
advice. Yes, it's been more than half an hour. I hope I'm not holding you up like you have a busy
not at
day.
all. I did not even realize when these 30-35 minutes passed. So it's all right.
Okay. Okay, I'll take that as a compliment. Okay.
Yeah.
The final thing is one
Mhm.
advice for struggling English learners.
Struggling English learners. Okay. First of all, they should stop struggling because their approach has to be changed. Now, on a lighter note, I said that, but on a
Yes.
serious note, to stop struggling, they will have to look at their problem from a broader perspective. See, when I solve a mathematics problem, because I'm too bad with mathematics, so now when I solve a mathematics problem, if I spend 1.5 hours into a problem, I will be completely engrossed in that problem, and it will be very difficult for me to come out of it. Now, again, if I leave that problem and revisit that problem 5 minutes later, I will have a better go at it. And I think I'll be able to solve it. And I would think, how stupid of me that I could not solve it in 1.5 hours. It was right there. This is the problem with English as well. The solution is right there. It's just that if you tell someone, you keep going to the gate of your society, and after 30 years, you will get a certain sum of money. that will be worth your efforts. Nobody will go.
Yes.
Tell them every day when you go to the gate of your society, you will receive 5,000 rupees. Everyone will rush to that gate. Why? Because they'll be able to see that result then and there. So the day people start realizing their results, recording yourself helps a lot.
Yes.
So when you record yourself, then you can actually see how bad or good you were the previous day. And competition with others will make you bitter. Competition with yourself will make you better. As simple as that. So when you start listening to yourself and what long way you have come. I still remember the time when I recorded my first video or I attended my first session online. That was a nightmare for me because I kept on checking my hair, I kept on checking my lights every now and then, and I could not have the courage to switch on my camera also because I had never faced camera before. And yeah, that was the tough part. But now it's comfortable. I'm speaking with an eminent YouTuber like you. So I think we've come a long way. It means consistency does help. This is what people should believe in when they're improving. There is no bad way. There is no wrong way. It's
Yes.
just that whatever way you have, use it every day. That's the only thing. Stop thinking someone else has a better way than you. No. Every way is all right. Just use your way and do it
Yes.
daily. That's that.
No, no one size fits all. What work for them may
Yeah,
not work for you. So you have to figure it
yeah,
out.
exactly. Yes, yes. It may take some extra time, but don't go for hit and trial. That's where most of the learners get distracted, and the taste of learning English degrades the day when you start thinking, I don't have the best application, I don't have the best environment, I don't have the best people, I don't have the best trainer. No, trainer is just there to make you aware. I think
Yes.
after having taken a considerable amount of sessions, you will also agree with me that
Yes.
our worth is only until a time when students start noticing their own problems.
Correct.
That's where the learner's profession may be in danger, but their usability increases after that. Right. So that's what my mindset is.
Okay, you're an amazing storyteller. So I really
Oh,
enjoyed talking to you, and I look forward to
like,
talking to
like,
you again and learning from your expertise. I learned a
oh,
lot from today's session. Thank you so much for
don't say
joining me
that.
today.
It was lovely speaking with you. And to all the people who are listening, it's not that Shanta has told me to say this. I haven't said it for any other person that I have spoken to so far. And I think I'll not be able to say it for so many in the future. But on your way, there are many people that you find. And I've been fortunate that I'm finding people who are really grounded when they're speaking with me. So I really enjoyed speaking with you. And to all the people who are watching us, I would say Shanta is someone who brings her nature to the table, who brings reality to the table, and who brings herself to the table. So there is no price tag for it. It just takes one hit to watch a video and to watch a lot of content from Shanta. That's what I'll say. So enjoy her content. I enjoy it a lot. You should also enjoy it.
That means a lot. Thank you so much. You made my day. So have a
Oh,
good
like,
day.
thank you.
Yeah,
Have a great day to
bye-bye.
you too.
You
Bye.
too.